Hey guys, my name is Matthew. Today I want to talk to you about passive income ideas that we've actually tried. Here we go. So I want to start with a definition of passive income so that way we're totally clear on what it is. A lot of people think of passive income and they think money that's totally free or like I don't have to do any work for or something like that. And it's not true. Passive income is work put in ahead of time that pays off over time. I like to compare passive income to active income. Active income is any normal job where you go into work and when you finish working, you get paid. So a lot of people get paid on a 2-week schedule or maybe a monthly schedule, maybe on a weekly schedule. Some people even get paid in tips as they go. So that means that if they didn't show up for work on any given day, if I decided, hey, I'm not going to go into work anymore, then you would stop getting paid for that work. So your income in those situations, in an active income situation, relies on you doing something actively and continuously. As soon as you stop going into work, you may get paid for a little bit longer after that, but the paychecks will definitely stop. Passive income is anything where you put work in ahead of time or money in ahead of time and you continue getting paid regardless of whether or not you continue putting in work or not. Today's list is passive income ideas and things that my family has actually tried, things we've actually done that actually continue to pay us money today, even things that we have stopped working on altogether. Some of them have been really successful for us, and some of them we didn't put enough work in to continue getting a lot of success today. Some of these ideas are things that I'm going to highly recommend for you, and some of them are things that I might actually steer you away from. Let's go ahead and jump right in. The first one that I'm going to direct most people to, and it's really a great first step in starting to build up income in order to work on some of these other ideas, is to purchase a home. It's a really, really big first financial step for a lot of people. And if you purchase your home well, then it can be something that continues paying itself off for a long, long time. Now, this really does require you purchase the right kind of home. You can't just purchase any home for your first home and it work out as passive income. If you buy the right type of home, one where mortgage and taxes is actually less than what you're renting for, what you'll find is you start to build equity in that house. This won't happen overnight. This is something where over a long period of time, over years, you come back later and you realize I built up thousands of dollars worth of equity in this house while I was paying the same payments that I would have paid to rent. Now, you've got to do a lot of math here, and I'm not inviting you to go out and just buy the first house on the market that you can find. There's a lot of research that has to go into these things. Of course, you end up paying for your own home repairs and your own, if your fridge goes out, you've got to pay for those things yourself where you may not have before, depending on the rental agreement you were in. But what you may find is that it actually ends up paying itself off. That you quickly start to find that for not doing anything different, you're just paying the same money that you would have paid before. You're paying it to a bank instead of a landlord, but you find that for paying the same amount of money and doing the same type of thing where you're living in the same type of place that you were before, you actually end up making money from that transaction. You may think that you don't have enough money to go out and just purchase a house. You need a down payment and all these types of things, and that may be true. I know that for a lot of people that the down payment is one of the big things that keeps them from able to purchase a home. What I do want to encourage you to do is look into some possibilities for what you could actually be purchasing without a huge down payment. There are FHA loans and USDA loans, things that you may require 3% down or less. There are actually some loans that will let you get into your first house for 0% down. Look into your county or city or state guidelines and see if there's some sort of benefits for first-time home buyers. A lot of counties will say, hey, we really want you to come to this county and purchase a home here and live here for the next 5 years. We'll give you a great deal on a loan because we want you to do that. Or they'll give you tax-free for several years. Or there are different benefits for first-time home buyers. I encourage you, look it up, Google those things for your home state, for your home county, figure out what there is available. Some people may find that they can actually get into their first home for 0 or very low money down. That's something that I do recommend is that you look into what your options are. Do the research and figure out, is a home maybe a good choice for me to be able to start doing passive income? The next one I want to talk about is writing a book. I think that a lot of people actually have the capability of writing a book, and I don't think it's as hard as you might think. I wrote an ebook and I sell it on Amazon. I sell copies of it every month, and it's not a lot of income because I haven't put a lot of effort into it. I haven't promoted it. I haven't done anything with it. But every month it does sell a few copies, and I do get a check from Amazon once a month. If I had spent a lot more time on the book, if I had written multiple books, if I had considered spending money on advertisements and promotion and things like that, I could actually be spending a lot more time on this one to be making more money and promoting it in more ways. But with having zero effort in, I still get a check every month from Amazon. And this is something that I definitely recommend you consider. Go ahead and think about things that you may be good at or things that you may have a lot of skills in. Maybe you've been working in the same industry for a long time, or maybe even a fiction book. Whatever that is, just think about writing a book and selling it on Amazon. You can do it for completely free using Microsoft Word. I'll link to a video here that shows some good ways to do this. One that is really, really typical when you think about passive investment is actually stocks and bonds and ETFs, things like that. I really recommend, if you're going to get into stocks, that you do a lot of research on this one as well, because it can be really easy to lose your money in the stock market. But the two ways to really think about it are like day trading type things, which can be really dangerous and scary, or long-term trading. Here's a quick summation of some ways that you can invest in the stock market and some things that we think work well. One thing my wife and I did for a long time is we used a site called Earn Honey to passively watch commercials on these computer farm that we set up. A lot of those things don't work as well as they used to, but there is still some possibility that you can use a website like Earn Honey, earnhoney.com, to go watch commercials, things like that, and get kind of some passive income for not really doing much of anything. So we literally just set up the computers, and once a day we would check on them to see if they were doing their thing. And it earned us about $3 per day per computer when we were doing that. We've since moved to a different country, and so we haven't set those things up since we moved. But when we were doing it, it was pretty successful for us for passive income. Another one where you have to create things ahead of time, it takes a lot of work and effort to get things set up ahead of time, is stock photography or stock videography. This is one that can potentially make you a lot of money if you put a lot of work into it ahead of time. I uploaded to a stock photography website for about 3 months pretty consistently. I set myself some goals and was uploading every single week a certain number of photos. What I found is that it was pretty successful. I was making money off of those photos, and I'm still making money off those photos today. This is similar to when I created the book, where I actually am not making very much money, but it is a consistent paycheck every month. I get some money from the stock photography website every time my photos sell. And I took enough pictures during those times that I actually have built up a library. This is perfect for people who've done a lot of photography already and they want to upload a bunch of their photos. There are lots and lots of rules surrounding this, and definitely recommend doing your research before you jump into this, because it can be easy to spend a lot of time not making any money at all. But I do want to say one of the biggest tips for me was to upload videos and photos into editorial. What that means is those pieces can have like brands on them, they can have people's faces, and you don't need all the model releases for them. They're considered newsworthy in some ways. So a newspaper could pick it up, or maybe a website that does news, things like that, might pick up your photos and buy them. So my editorial photos sold way more than any of my other photos ever did. Another way you can make money is with real estate. Now, I talked already about buying a home, but separate from that, you can also buy a rental. There are a few different ways to do this. You could rent it out on Airbnb, which is not particularly passive unless you set up a lot of devices and vehicles to kind of run your Airbnb for you. Or you can buy like a rental property and rent in a traditional way. You could even take one of the rooms in the home that we talked about earlier and rent that out as a way to get rental income as well. There are lots of ways to use real estate rentals to your advantage. I'm actually going to link to a video here that talks about all the ways that a rental can actually make you money. And it's a lot more than you might think. There's a reason that they say that there are more people who made their first million from real estate than from any other business or entrepreneurship. One way that we have actually made quite a bit of passive money is from YouTube. So we have another channel called Schaefer Family Adventure, where we regularly post videos once a week, and that has actually started to generate quite a bit of income for us. Of course, on YouTube, you can't start making money until after you have your first 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 watch hours. But after you do that, suddenly every view can start generating income for you. If we stopped uploading videos tomorrow, of course, we would stop making as much money, but we would continue to make money from the videos we've already posted for a long time. Our YouTube income would never potentially go away. So in that way, it's very passive, but of course it takes a lot of startup work to get started with a YouTube channel. If you do have a website, or maybe you're on YouTube or Twitter or wherever, and you start to get a big following, affiliate links can be a really great way to generate some income as well. We put affiliate links in a lot of our YouTube videos, and we've used them in other places as well, and that has helped us to generate a bit of income in addition to the income we get from ad revenue from YouTube and things like that. We think affiliate links can be a really great way to make some additional income. Maybe you want to be involved in real estate, but buying real estate is not for you. You don't want to buy a home, you don't want to deal with renters and all of the headache that comes with that. You'd rather be invested in the successful real estate market without having to do all of the work with it. If so, real estate investing might be the perfect place for you. Even if you have just as little as $10,000 or $20,000 that you want to invest, those returns can be really large. We've worked with some different people who are working on flips and rentals, and we've lent them money that they've then returned to us back with interest, maybe 10% or 20% interest, which is a really hard interest rate to beat. If you're interested in some of our contacts with that, do feel free to message me and send me an email, and we can respond to those, helping you to get connected with some of those people as well. But consistently, we think that helping other people be successful in real estate is a great way to create some passive income yourself. The last thing that we really want to encourage you with is the best way to create passive income in your life is to do research yourself. Do understand that to educate yourself is a great way to provide returns on the rest of your life. There are lots of stats out there about going to college and what that does for your income for the rest of your life. And that doesn't really have anything to do with the degree or necessarily even things you learned in college. It has a lot to do with the value of an education. What that means is if you educate yourself now, you learn things about income and about your finances that can make a huge return in your life later to come without really having to continue to work for it. Do let us know if you have questions about any of the passive income ideas that we've just mentioned. We'd love to answer those questions and help you to gain some passive income yourself. If you have got anything of value from this, or if you have questions about anything we talked about, feel free to leave a comment. We'd love for you to like and subscribe, and we'll see you guys next time.